I'm Rebecca Bowring and this is Tech24. Thank you for being with us for this special programme. Coming up, breaking out of science fiction and landing at a school near you. Tech24 meets education's most popular humanoid robot. He's 60 centimetres tall and his name is Now. Driving solo, serving drinks and clearing up after an earthquake. We look at what else today's robots can do and ask where the technology is headed. He's cute, he's funny, and he does what you say, well, most of the time anyway. No, that's not my description of the perfect man, though he might just be one. Let's meet Now. Once upon a time, robots were the stuff of science fiction. Now they're more and more a part of everyday life. This is Now, a fully programmable humanoid robot. Schools, universities and labs in some 40 countries use him to inspire students. Now is a robot of many talents. He can walk, sit, dance, pick up and put down objects. In 2007, Now rose to fame during the RoboCup football tournament, becoming the de facto bot. Aldebaran, the French startup that makes Now, has already sold over 1,500 units. They hope to release him to the general public later this year. Well, this week, Olander has indeed been replaced by a robot. I'm very happy to welcome Now to the studio, along with his minder, Bastien Parent from Aldebaran Robotics. Thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Rebecca. I'm Now. Pleased to meet you. I'm so happy to be on TV today.
We're very happy to have you along. So, Bastien, tell me first, what is unique about this robot?
Well, this is the first time ever that laboratories or universities can buy a humanoid robot with all those functions of interactions, of autonomy, and so on. He
recognises faces and voices, and he can even isolate words. So if I ask him some questions now, he can maybe try and respond to them. So now, why were you created?
I come with a software and I'm fully programmable. I can recognize your face, answer your questions, play music, grab objects, and even play soccer like a pro.
Speaking of soccer, what do you like doing best? What are your hobbies?
I'm the star of the shows. I love dancing just as I did at the Shanghai 2010 World Exhibition. Moreover, I can welcome people to the museums and I can entertain your workshops.
How did you decide on his form and his personality? Because he definitely has one.
Human beings are programmed to communicate with other humanoid shapes. And that's why we tried to do a humanoid robot with a cute face, with short arms that could make us think of baby proportions.
Now, obviously, something very important is his role in education. He is known as the world's most popular robot used in academic establishments. So let me ask you now what work you have been doing with students.
I am the first interactive and fully programmable humanoid robot to be used in the classrooms. A large community of researchers, teachers and individual programmers works every day to improve my technologies and to imagine what personal robotics will look like in the years to come. I'm much more agile than it is.
He certainly does move very fluidly, doesn't he? Just one more quick question. Yeah, he sees himself as a bit of a Superman. Quick question, you want to make this robot available to families, to the average person.
For sure.
How do you propose to do that, though? Because he does cost €5,000.
Right now, that's right, that's correct, because we are selling it as a professional tool. But we already have ways to reduce the cost. For example, in producing more robots. And then we plan to offer it to the general public for a very low price. We will try to make it affordable.
So one day he might be a fixture in everyone's homes. Stay with us. We're now going to bring you some more robot news in part 2. widely used, we know, to work on car assembly lines, of course, but Japanese automaker Honda's robotic creation has little to do with mechanics. The latest version of Asimo, or advanced step in innovative mobility, is meant to be the most intuitive yet. He can run, hop, push a trolley, open a bottle, and even pour a drink for you. He now has 13 knuckles instead of 2, useful as he's been learning sign language. And did you know Honda's been developing humanoid robots since the 1980s? Meanwhile, Google set itself a new challenge to get its fleet of self-driving cars, yes, like Herbie the love bug, to drive 1 million miles without any driver intervention. The goal of these vehicles is to help people with limited mobility. There was a little crash back in August, but ironically, Google says it was caused by human error. Now, the International Robot Exhibition's been taking place in Tokyo this week. Over 270 companies and universities were represented. The attention this year was on robots developed to work in post-disaster conditions, like after an earthquake or nuclear accident, such as those Japan suffered back in the spring. On show, robots that can cut through concrete and carry debris, operated by remote control. Now, Foxconn, that's the company in China that assembles Apple's iPad, has announced that over the next 3 years it will be replacing 1 million people with robots. Obviously, this is changing the way that manufacturing looks in the 21st century. Just to ask you, Bastien, your robot is assembled by hand. Would you ever use robots to make your robot?
No, we didn't. That's not the purpose of this kind of robot. We do not design it to be as precise as could be robot for building cars, for example. It is entirely hand-built, handcraft in Paris, in the center of Paris. So it's kind of, I don't know, craft work of new technology, but we didn't plan to use our robot to produce themselves.
Romeo is the next robot that you guys are going to bring out. He's nearly as big as me. What does he do, just very quickly?
The aim of this robot is to take care of older people or persons with disabilities. And then we are at the beginning of this project, so we are mounting a real prototype right now, a physical one, that we plan to show in a few months.
Thank you ever so much to you both for coming in. Thank you to you now. I think you could be my perfect man. Do you have a girlfriend?
Sorry, we can talk about this in the backstage, but I don't like speaking about my private life.
Okay, then you're obviously a very eligible bachelor. Right, well, we end the show with a clip. We'll just show you a bit more of Now's talents. In fact, a dance troupe of identical Nows. He was mentioning earlier that he took part in the 2010 Shanghai Expo, and this group went down a storm, dancing, body popping, pulling shapes in exact time with each other. So I'll leave that with you to enjoy. See you again next week on Tech 24.